Willow, are you number one? Lots of room in the front, ladies.
Tupperware right.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just doom and gloom, but
Bottom of the food chain. Look who's back.
Back again.
I didn't connect the gun yet. Okay. Yep. Okay, our remaining spring lambs are now gone through the system. So these are the tail enders, and I thought I would just go over their stats. I've been bad with this group to keep you guys updated. There's just been a lot going on. We just sort of do the job, and then I kind of just tell you guys after the fact that we've shipped lambs. So this is our last shipment of this group. The rest are ewe lambs that are going to be coming over hopefully tomorrow. So if I have a chance this afternoon, I want to do some rearranging, and then tomorrow, if I can steal Carissa for a little longer, we might ship those lambs, and I might ship my ewes that I marked 2 weeks ago now. Then I'll have lots of room to bring over those ewe lambs that are still over there. Okay, so this group, I think we had 3 that were really small. So the smallest was 44.5 pounds. So that lamb has been in this barn since April. May, June, July, August, September, 5 months, and it's only 44.5 pounds. The heaviest, however, was 115 pounds. So the average weight for my tail enders is 91.5, which isn't terrible for your last kind of load to go out. So yeah, we'll try to get at that tomorrow. We are going to get at that tomorrow. And then my barn will be empty because it needs to get cleaned before we get really busy with field work. The problem is we're going to have to clean it out and stockpile it somewhere because I think we're going to spread it hopefully before the winter on some soybean stubble. Mark just wanted me to have that barn totally cleaned out of animals so that when a day or two came, maybe in between soybeans and corn, I can work at cleaning it out, getting it all ready for the lambs I need to wean probably mid to late October. Probably mid-October, and then they'll be going into a nice fresh clean barn, which is good. On to the next job of the day, which is rearranging some of these pens. I want to put the young boys sort of on the other side of the older boys with a gate between them, and then I'm going to push the pregnant pen down a bit for now, and then bring over Willow's group that have the ewes that were marked open out of that group. This pen will be empty tomorrow morning after we ship. And then what's probably going to happen is I'm either going to move the pregnant ewe lambs that are back there up here, or just put my ewe lambs from across the road up here. Why do you lay there? Like, you know they're going to surround you. Okay, everybody's been scanned already and inputted into the computer, but I'm just gonna scan them again as a group, and then if I have a question, I'll go on the activity history and see if they were scheduled to get shipped. You ready, Willow? You guys go back in your pen. Lindsay. All right, that job is done. We ended up with 19 between Willow's group that I did probably like a couple months ago now, and then the ones I did a couple weeks ago after Rex was here. All of these ones are either poor udders from my udder evaluation, or it was because they've missed getting pregnant twice. They're just not productive ewes, and I can't afford to keep them, unfortunately. We'll likely start with the ewes while I have Carissa for help, just because they can be unpredictable and they're very, very heavy. So if they do something wonky on me and my back goes out again, I kind of need someone else with me. Or if she's not available, Mark said he was more than willing to give me a hand too. So they're going, and then we'll load up those lambs that we weighed this morning. So tomorrow's gonna be a big day. Poor Jess, all summer, taking care of a garden. And then by the time these things are sort of good and ready to be harvested, she's not here to enjoy it. So we have been picking these tomatoes for like the last 4 weeks or so. Peppers are doing well too. Beautiful. Tomatoes. Good morning, everyone. I think it's Wednesday today. We are just getting ready here to load up our ewes and our lambs, but first I need a trailer, so I'm gonna deal with that. I cannot see. It is such weird weather. It actually reminds me of wheat harvest weather when the days are really warm, but the nights get cool enough that you get so much condensation, so everything's sweaty. Today has been a busy one, and I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at in terms of logistics with my sheep. Especially when I was down for a week, I felt a bit of a weight on me since last week when I wasn't able to keep on schedule. But it actually worked out okay because I had enough room on the trailer to just ship them all on one day. So yeah, we did the ewes first thing this morning because I knew I needed help from Carissa. By the time we came back to do the lamb, she said she had time, she could help me with the second load. So she helped me all morning, and then Mark offered to help me load up my ewe lambs from across the road. So that barn is completely empty now. We brought over these ewe lambs and they look pretty good. There's a couple that are pretty small still, but we'll see. I'm glad they're all over here. That barn is now shut down. We turned the fans off and it can just chill for a bit, and then we will clean that barn out spick and span. And actually, I want to do a full clean of that place because every time I go across the road, I'm like, oh my God, this barn is so embarrassing. There is stuff everywhere. It drives me crazy. I think what happens is we get busy doing stuff over there and we just throw it in the corner, throw it on the desk, and then it just collects dust. And it's just gross. I hate looking at it. So between them and the Golden Girls areas, I just want to get it nice and cleaned up before winter. That is on the list. Whether it gets done in the fall or early winter, that remains to be seen.
Basically, 45% of my beans are seed and the rest are crusher. So I figured we got some sold at $16. Cost average out, we're 14 something on the crusher beans. So yeah, and like I just get worried that if all of a sudden Brazil it gets rain and they go like gangbusters planting soybeans, then it's going to be pretty hard. And then they're putting the tariff on the stuff next Friday. I have less good feeling about soybeans than I do the other two. Maybe I'm just doom and gloom, but...
Well guys, we have officially moved into crop mode once again. So I'm glad I got my sheep work kind of caught up. Mark's been talking to our marketer. He's worried about storage space. We have no idea what the yields are going to look like, but they look decent, we think, from what we're hearing from neighboring farms. We had some wheat left that we wanted to ship. No one's receiving it right now because everybody's getting ready for soybeans and corn. So we sort of dropped the ball on that one, but Mark likes the carryover price, like looking into the future for wheat, for us to sit on it a little longer, so he's not too sad about that. The one crop he's a little concerned with is soybeans. Listening in on him and John's conversation, our marketer, Mark's a little more concerned about the prices dropping in soybeans over wheat. So I think we're gonna probably sell a bunch of soybeans at harvest. However, we have a lot of seed soybeans and we got them inspected this afternoon, and he's not happy with the one lot didn't mature as fast. So he wants Mark to flag it out and not combine them, and then he has to come back and re-inspect them. It's sort of just, it's the rules if you wanna play the seed game. So here's a flag here. So basically we can combine this side, cannot combine that side. Literally same variety, planted at the same time, same day, but we went from a pro box, like bulk seed, to bags of seed to finish out the field, I think. And the inspector was not confident that they were ready to go yet. So we're gonna wait on these guys, but I think we can get started on the rest, which is good. And then we'll be planting wheat. So this weekend's gonna be busy. Really hoping Jess is still planning on coming home because we could probably put her to work. Logistics. Good morning. It is corn silage day, which means today is officially the last day of harvesting feed for our sheep for the year, which is always a good day for me. I love field work, but when we're harvesting the crops for our feed portion of the business, a lot of it's custom. All of it's custom, really. And there's a lot of logistics. So, you know, I'm working around our bagger Devin. working around Ethan. And Ethan is also on a board, like on a ag policy board. So he's really busy now, and fall is super busy on any of these boards. I remember when Mark was doing it, and it's just like a crazy time of year. So we're trying to like line up everybody. I think Devin had a cylinder go on his bagger, and in the meantime the corn is getting super dry. Anyways, today is the day and it will be off the list. I was talking to Mark this morning about soybeans, and he's not really thinking that they'll go today, and maybe not even tomorrow, but hopefully Saturday. But we will see how antsy he gets, and if he sees all the neighbors going. That's usually sort of when he pulls the trigger. And the other big news is Mark and I have been married 26 years today. 26 years, can you believe it? Corn silage has officially begun. I was talking to Ethan this morning, and he said he hopefully has worked out all the bugs, because he's had a heck of a couple days between his harvester and his blower unit that he uses for his silos. He's got upright silos. I think he's had a stressful couple days. So far, so good, but he's just taking off these first few rows on our headlands, and then he'll start making his way down the field. But it won't take too long. This is only an 8-foot diameter bag, and we'll do about 130 feet or so. I think the pad is 150, and we like to leave a little bit of room on the pad so you can get around the bags at the end. I do have to say that corn silage for Mark and I is the least stressful of all the feed that we do for the sheep. The hay is there's just so much more to hay, because we also have to cut it, make sure it's the right moisture. Corn silage, that's a little bit out of our hands, because we can only do it when we get Ethan and the bagger. But for whatever reason, it usually works out that our corn silage is pretty good in terms of moisture. There's less steps to corn silage, and the wagons run really smooth because it's so fluffy. It's such nice fluffy feed. It's going good so far.
Yeah, just to shorten the coupling just a hair, and yeah, the new processor. And I don't think I was getting the knife set. So I actually set the knife by stropping the head and set a bit of fuel.
Well, we got one job done today, which is corn silage. It was like a record. I think we were done in 2 hours. It was amazing. Everything worked good. And then Mark called our buddy Jeff because he noticed he was in his soybean field. So I believe we are going to try to take off our first field of soybeans tonight. It's a little 20-acre field. He just wants to get the bugs worked out if there are any. Hopefully there aren't. And then, yeah, she'll be a full pull of soybeans for the foreseeable future, depending if we get rain or not. So the one thing I did have to do is fill up a bag with corn silage, just a sample for my new feed consultant, and they will do a test on this. Moisture probably is the most important thing right now because I have a feeling this is pretty dry as compared to other years, so it's going to affect the rations a bit. But quality, I think Ethan, he put in a new processor, and I would say it's chopped amazingly. Like the corn, it looks like ground corn. It's crazy. So we'll see how that tests. We're gonna let it stay in the bag for probably at least 2 weeks. I'll let my feed expert tell me when I should open it up. We have to let it ferment, and then it'll be good to feed. All right, I better hop in the tractor and grab some wagons. On to the next crop. Look who's back!
Back again.
Look who's back!
Tell a friend.
Jess is home from school. You get Fridays off, right? No classes Fridays?
Yep.
And she graced us with her presence. I haven't seen you since you left.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You've seen Dad a couple times, but you haven't seen me.
Well, you were a little crippled for a while.
I was crippled. I still sort of am struggling, but yeah. How was school?
It's school. It's school. It's not ideal. But my last year.
It's your last year. Well, year and a bit.
Well, last year living in Gulf
That's true.
and doing full-time school.
Do you think you can help us all weekend, or just
Yeah.
today and... Well, tomorrow I think Monty's gonna help. So you're off the hook tomorrow. You can do your homework.
Yeah, I should be good to go. Depending on how overwhelmed I get tomorrow if I start homework and
Need a break?
never ends.
Well, if you ever need a break, you know where I am. You can jump in.
Yeah.
I like company. Just nicely nosed into our first field. I'm trying to remember if this is the first one we planted, but that was...
Probably not.
I don't think it was. Anyways, yeah, we're only, I think, going to take this 20 acres off for tonight and let it sit on wagons, and then we have to do a bunch of organizing in the morning. These are part of our seed bean contract, so they go into 2 bins that are not hooked up to our elevation system. So it's a little trickier. We have to set up the auger and
I'm so smart.
all that stuff. You remember how to do all that?
No, I figured it out.
And it's beautiful weather. Like, I don't remember a September being this nice.
Did we upgrade the camera? It's like color now.
Yes. I think he put a new one in.
Wow. That's cray. Nothing's coming out. I was getting nervous on the first.
Well, you're uppers on the
First go. Yeah, it was pretty short-lived. You want me to do it again or nah? Yeah.
Just a micro yarn, maybe.
I do miss wheat for the straw.
Yeah. Good morning, you guys. It is Friday. So yesterday, I don't think I talked to you guys about this, but after I was done corn silage, I said I better check these nipples on this nanny again, because the night before I changed 3 out of 4 nipples because they had chewed them. And you know, a week ago I was like feeling bad for them. I'm like, no, it's too early. I can't wean them yet. I'll wait till next week. So we've been watching them like a hawk this week. And then last night I went in and they had 1 brand new nipple already chewed. So I was like, okay, it's time to wean you guys. Yeah, so I pulled the hoses yesterday because I did not want to spend any more money on nipples, and gave them fresh water. And then this morning I texted Carissa last night and I said, okay, tomorrow morning, let's vaccinate those lambs. This is their booster vaccine. This is called an antitoxin, so it's working like the vaccine, only I think it just gets into their system quicker. So we finished the bottle, and I texted Rex, and I'm like, did that new antitoxin come in yet? And he said, no, we're still waiting on it. So they've been waiting on it for literally months. So I said, okay, what should I use instead? This would have been my booster. He said just use Glanvac or Tasvax, whatever you have. So we have resorted back to Glanvac, and it's looking like that's maybe what we're gonna have to switch to if we don't have this supply. So we made do, and we used what we have access to. I think for the rest of the day, we're back in the fields. I believe we're gonna let Jess take today off. She is pretty swamped with schoolwork. So Monty's gonna fill in for her. I'll be running wagons. I think we're just gonna concentrate on soybeans today. And then tomorrow morning, Mark's gonna get set up to plant wheat. It's gonna be a busy weekend because we just checked the forecast, and after literally a full month of like no rain and beautiful temps, we start soybean harvest, and they're calling for 4 days of rain. So that seems to be what happens. I'm helping Hubs this morning. We are getting our soybean bins sort of figured out here. We have 2, I think I talked about this last night, but we have 2 bins that are not attached to our elevation system, so we have to use the auger, but our auger's been used for other stuff. So what Mark is doing, he's taking a few soybeans that we combined yesterday, and we're gonna run about, I don't know, 300 bushels or something, almost a full wagon. We'll run that through the auger and put it in those wagons. Right there. It's called sort of a flush. And we will just put those in with the beans that go for crusher, meaning it's not going for seed. It'll be just used for their oil. And this is why you get paid a little bit more for seed soybeans, just because there's a little more work to seed soybeans versus crusher beans. You got to keep them separate. You've got to get them inspected. Yeah, there's a lot more sort of moving parts. It's a little more work, but you also get paid for doing the little extra. And on years like this year where commodity prices are plummeting, it's good to take advantage of these premiums when you can get them. With the man again. I caught up because he had a breakdown had a chopper blade go.
Yeah,
what they're called?
the chopper turns at 32,000 rounds per minute, so it's going really fast. So when it gets out of balance, it like shakes the whole combine. So what happened was there's blades on it that spin around to chop up the straw. One broke off and flew at the back of the combine, and that small bit of weight throws the balance off on the chopper to the point where, as I said, it was shaking the combine. So I had to get a new chopper blade. I had some because I got some before we started, but I got the wrong ones, so I had to go to town and get the right ones. So we were down about an hour.
I didn't feel like an hour. It
No,
didn't
it
feel
wasn't
too
bad. It could have been worse.
And at least it's like 3 o'clock on a Friday and not
Saturday
3 o'clock
or
on a
Sunday.
Saturday. Anyway, beans are going good. Are you happy with your yield so far, even though we
Yeah,
haven't got
like
very far?
we're in some beans that are new to me, so the yield on them are good. I'll have to see what they're like compared to the ones I'm used to.
Right.
That I've grown in the past, like especially the last 2 years. We got some really good beans, so they'll let me know how these new ones compare. These, like, we're starting on a brand new bean, so I don't
know. We don't
know.
We don't have precedence.
I got nothing to compare it against.
And you really like the beans you grew up till this year. You like the one that you had last year.
Yeah.
And they aren't selling it after this year, right?
No,
So Mark's sad.
I'm sad.
Sometimes the companies don't
Shareholders take precedence
over the farmer. Imagine that.
Big surprise.
Money still rules, I think, unfortunately. Not our money.
Yeah.
We're the
shareholder money.
bottom of the food chain.